Lanveoc, a village hidden on the western coast of Brittany. It's part of the Parc Naturel Régional d'Armorique in the Bay of Brest. A village seemingly untouched by past centuries. It originated somewhere in the Middle Ages and developed through the need for a good connection with Brest for the trading of goods. The still existing sloping quay was specially built for this purpose. Due to this quay and the building of a military fortress in 1630, trade flourished in this village that still looks like it was in those old days. During the Second World War, the Bay of Brest was of enormous strategic importance, and several military bases were established here. At Lanveoc, a bridge and a harbour were built for the loading and unloading of petroleum and fuel for ships and aircraft. After the war, it was still used by NATO. Since 1992, the bridge and pipelines have fallen into disuse and were demolished in 2001. The pillars and bridgeheads are the silent witnesses of their violent past. Trade and war have long since disappeared, and tourism has taken their place. For scuba divers, this is a rather unknown place. Only local scuba clubs occasionally dive here. However, here you may discover various marine ecosystems in a rather small area, and therefore it supports an extensive diversity of both marine animals and plants. Especially the region of the pillars and the debris in between them is surely worth a visit. During the demolition of the bridge, many parts of the bridge deck and the support piers landed on the seabed. For scuba divers, these are definitely worth a visit. Actually, they are, similar to shipwrecks, providing settling substrate. The remains form an artificial coastal reef that supports a lot of marine life to settle here or hide from predators. Immediately, the large bridge section between the pillars draws our attention. By their shape, you can clearly see how the bridge sections and pillars were attached. Under this gigantic construction, many fish find shelter. Everywhere between and next to the pillars, there's rubble, artificial rocks that after years on the seabed form a beautiful reef. It provides a home not only for fish, but also for many other marine animals, such as bryozoans, anemones, starfish, and of course a variety of sea slugs. From the rubble towards the pillars, it is only a small distance. Slowly they appear as shadows in the fog. These enormous concrete constructions are densely overgrown with many organisms. Eye-catchers are mostly the soft coral dead man's fingers, with tiny nudibranchs, a small species of Tritonia. Many other sea slugs and flatworms make these gigantic concrete constructions their home, along with many species of snails. We now leave the pillars in search of the next habitat. Passing over shell grit, scattered with brittle stars and foraging wrasse, we arrive at a special habitat covered with merle. This is a calcifying algae. It's just like coral, a protected species. Merle grows extremely slowly. A destroyed habitat may need hundreds of years to recover. It is a special ecosystem with a lot of tiny creatures like gobies, crabs, hermit crabs and the like. Sea urchins even use it to camouflage themselves. It is also the habitat of the goosefoot starfish, a beautiful creature, a species that is rare, or at least not often seen by scuba divers. The Bloody Henry, another starfish, is found at the edges of the Merle field and the large sandy area, which leads us to the next habitat. Many divers think that there is little to be seen on sandy stretches. But we experience the opposite. It bustles with life. Due to the limited depth, many algae grow here, forming an excellent resting and hiding place for many animals. Here we especially find some larger species, such as sharks, rays and flatfish. Spider crabs are always looking for a tasty meal. They don't like to be disturbed. Shellfish are their favorite food. Just like crabs, starfish are also fierce hunters. Though they do need to catch their prey too, of course. Not just on, but also in the sand, numerous animals hide themselves, like this buried brittle star, various feather-dusted worms, and a ribbon worm that prefers them as food. Many species of fish are active near and on the sandy bottom. Like all other animals, they are here looking for a delicious meal, such as this shrimp. Or maybe even a juvenile seahorse. Cuttlefish are also looking for prey or a resting place. These remarkable animals are not only active near the sand, but also hover above the seagrass, which brings us to the next habitat. The swaying seagrass is an excellent hiding place, even for larger animals. And the cuttlefish attach their eggs on it. Especially during the night, the seagrass fields explode with life. Animals that hide during daytime emerge when night falls to hunt at the adjacent sandy patches, each in their own specific way. Before the sun rises again, they must have filled up their stomach. But they must always be cautious. Predators are never far away. The sun rises again and daytime emerges. The nocturnal animals disappear again between the algae and the seagrass. Now we only have one more habitat to visit. It consists of deposited rocks that protect the shore from storms and surging waves. It is an artificial rock coast, richly overgrown with diverse marine life. A lot of fish, crabs and lobsters find a suitable shelter here. anemones and tube worms thrive. Especially the snakelock anemone is worth to be observed closely. Sponge-covered crabs seek shelter under the poisonous tentacles, and symbiotic prawns don't mind sharing these anemones with the crabs. Of course, sea slugs are also well represented here. Especially sponge-feeding nudibranch can be spotted here. Sea ears are often well hidden and therefore rarely seen. Just like this small starfish that usually lives under the rocks. In the intertidal zone, we closely look at the large algae that gently sway with the surging waves. We only have a few strokes to swim to get to the surface and a gently sloping beach. Diving is spectacular here. It's a rare opportunity to find such diverse habitats in such a limited space, with an impressive diversity of marine life. The Atlantic coast is truly a paradise for divers, but be aware of the powerful tidal currents that are often present here.